Good morning from the, well, right above, I guess, Loveland Pass. Today, gonna be hiking slash trail running Grizzly and Torreys from Loveland Pass. You know the deal if you've watched any of my videos. Full guide on this one linked on my website in the description below. I'm gonna keep things kind of concise for the first couple miles because through 3 or 4 videos I've done this traverse over to Grizzly D, which is really when you kind of start the real hike up to Torreys and then over to Grays. Check those out. You can watch the Grizzly D video, you can watch the A Basin Traverse video. Basically you're going along the ridge. This 14er hike should be 10 to 11 miles with like I think 5,000 feet of vert. So yeah, this is pretty much the only variation of Torreys and Grays I haven't done. I've been meaning to, so excited to check it out today. In what's true fashion to this ridge, it is way windier than forecasted. I think every single time I have done any kind of variation involving Loveland Pass, there's just winds. You're pretty much on the Continental Divide here, and there's nothing to block the wind for a long way. This entire hike is going to be completely exposed to sun, to weather, to thunderstorms. So it is imperative that you get either off of this before the afternoon thunderstorms roll in, if there are some, or you just have a plus weather day. Otherwise it's really going to be bad news for you, because unlike the other variations of Torreys and Grays, you have to tag summits multiple times and backtrack and regain elevation on this variation of the hike. Summit of Grizzly D here. Remember, this is not a centennial, so we're only at about 13.4, so quite a bit of climbing still to go, and a nice descent beforehand. So I'll show you some aerial views of this route over, but it's pretty obvious. Torreys to the left, and then Grays to the right. Kind of cut across this slope here. I would just ride the ridge out, honestly. That's what I'm gonna do on the way back. It's the same terrain, you just don't have to deal with like the crappy angle of it since you'll be on top. Absolutely beautiful down here, and what a cool perspective of Torreys. About a 2,000 foot climb to go to get there. There is definitely not a trail over here, but since it's pretty straightforward, I don't think route finding should be a big problem, but would not recommend this for like your first 14er or first time up Grays and Torreys. However, if you really want to suffer, this is an option for the winter because there is relatively no avalanche danger if you stick to the ridge of things. Beautiful, beautiful look at Grizzly D, the A Basin Loveland Pass Traverse. Don't know the name of this lake, but it's awesome. Showing you the uphill, it's crushing, soul crushing. Yeah, steep ass scree. There's some resemblance of a trail, which is kind of nice. I'd rather be on loose dirt than loose scree. But yeah, this is going to be a very slow gain of Torreys. I also think that based on my current stats, which is about 2,500 feet of elevation gain over just about 4 miles, this is going to be closer to like a 12-mile day with like 6K vert would be my guess. On the west ridge of Torreys Peak, 13.8, so another 400 feet of climbing to the summit, but it's a gradual 400. You can obviously see your route over to Grays. I was hoping to find somewhere kind of in here to cut across. Maybe there might be something still, but it's really looking like go from Grays back up to Torreys and then down here to descend. To this point, 4.2 miles. It's gonna be a quick tag of Torreys. I've been up there a number of times, and I just want to keep it moving, honestly. But likely, no matter when you're hitting this peak, you will be sharing it with a bunch of other friends or enemies, depending on how you view them. Looking down at a tuning fork down there. Summit, obviously, right there. 4.5 miles, 3,900 feet of climbing to the summit of Torreys the first time. Just gonna tag it and move on, but I'll show you some views that I shot earlier. Really pretty up here with all the green. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you've probably done the other route, so it's pretty obvious. You get down to the shoulder and just ride it up to Grays, and then literally backtrack to the point where you can cut across, or back up to Torreys. All right, top of Grays right here. 5.25 miles, 4,500 feet of gain, and yeah, still weather looking good. Looking back to Torreys, this is definitely going to be closer to like probably 6,000, 6,500 feet, and mileage wise maybe 11. Actually, that might be the accurate part of the day. Either case, really happy with how the clouds are looking. Show you some views here. Quite nice right now with all the green before it dies and turns brown, and this area becomes pretty stark. But yeah, so from here, just gonna retrace your steps back over to Torreys, and then yeah, the same way you came down the ridge. By the time this video airs, my Leave No Trace of 2023 giveaway will be going on, and now is a perfect time to talk about Leave No Trace, because I'm not gonna sit here and like shit on everybody who is not used to hiking, is new at hiking. There's so many people who tag Grays and Torreys as their first and second 14ers, and that's freaking awesome. I love to see that. I do think that there's a massive problem with the lack of understanding or caring of people when they come into the mountains. So on the summit of Grays, I snagged 2 pieces of cardboard that people use for their summit signs, which, like, dude, if you want to go cardboard sign each summit, you go ham, man, you do it. But bring them with you. The mountain does not want your cardboard, and there's no magic fairy besides me and others who are gonna pick up after you. And number 2, I picked up, I'm just gonna really hope it is dog poop, because if it's human, it's just, I can't really take that. I think whoever did this, they like made the first right step, which is bag it. Great, you did it. But the second step, which is the most important, especially in these kind of environments where the poop can stay up here for the whole summer, if not years, because no one's gonna want to take that with them besides this idiot. Take it with you. So leave no trace is super important. It's about staying on the trail, not cutting switchbacks, but more importantly, and I think the biggest thing that we can do in our day-to-day lives is making sure that when you're hiking up any kind of mountain trail, whatever, you're bringing everything out with you. No one likes to carry their dog's smelly crap, or maybe their own, or trash, or whatever, but if everyone has this mindset of, oh, this is not a big deal, our mountains in these beautiful places like this are going to turn into literal garbage cans. If you want to enter the Leave No Trace 23 contest, check out my Instagram for more information. Right, so I obviously cut across instead of resummiting Torreys. I'm not going to show that because I feel like even though this is off-trail traveling and it happens in the mountains with such a popular pair of 14ers, I don't think it's great to show where I went. From here, you know the deal. You're going to have to take a big down climb to this north saddle of Grizzly Peak, reclimb Grizzly, descend, reclimb Cupid, and then back to Loveland Pass with that big descent. Here's a look at the ridge. I did end up staying on it the whole time, so even though it looks like maybe it doesn't go, it does. There is some exposure, I guess, but in reality, if you stay to this left side, whatever direction you're facing, it is not bad at all. Without a doubt, in my opinion, the hardest way to tag Grays and Torreys, just because you have so many re-climbs and the elevation gain in general is just kind of unmatched. Just leaving Grizzly for the second time. Sounded like I was about to sing. That is never gonna happen in one of my videos. 7.8 miles, 5,800 feet of gain. You know the way back. And just in time, it looks like, because some rain is moving in. Also, I wanted to revisit this Leave No Trace conversation, especially with trash, because I feel like there's this kind of, oh, that's not my trash attitude sometimes. I mean, dude, if you think I like to pick up poop, literal poop, you are way wrong into what I'm into. But if everybody has that attitude of, oh, it's not mine, I'm not gonna worry about it, we never advance as a society. And that could be about Leave No Trace or frankly anything. Just do everybody a favor and snag some trash when you're up kind of hiking around. And it can be here in Colorado, it can be at your house when you're walking your dog along your road or your sidewalk. It doesn't have to be up in the mountains. Like, I know so many times people feel inadequate and overwhelmed with the problems we have in the world, and I know I'm getting on like my soapbox here, and dude, this is a hiking channel, I know, but small differences do add up. Just like with hiking, small gains add up. With trail running, with training, with anything, they add up. So just try to do your part, and maybe if you see somebody doing something stupid, just kindly advise them how to do it differently. You probably won't get a great reaction on that, but again, if nobody speaks up and tries to tackle the issues we face in our little hiking culture or our broader society, we just continue to get deeper and deeper into a bad place. I feel like sometimes I don't do a great job of using my channel's reach. I mean, shit, 2 million plus people have watched my videos, even if the subscriber numbers don't show that. And if I can reach one person to make a difference, and they make a difference to one other person, that's how change happens. Before we get all people in the comments like, you do this and you do that. Dude, I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I have lots of room as a human to grow. If you're new to hiking and just not sure, like, hey, like, how do I do things? Like, do a little research. You can get a ton of information, or hike with someone who has a ton of experience, and hopefully they'll kind of guide you along the way. What a fluffy butt. What a place to live, though. Whole gang's up here. As you're getting back to the kind of hump above Loveland Pass, which is right there, there is this social trail to the left. Theoretically, you could take it on the way here and on the way out. I have no idea why. I just have like this internal grudge against taking it. So I'm not going to. There's literally no reason for that. I just want that extra vert. If you've listened to all my stupid rants and watched however long this is. So here's a tip. If you're gonna hike Grays and Torreys, Torreys and Grays via Loveland Pass, I would highly recommend getting here early. The pass, I got here, I thought, pretty leisurely start for me, right around 8:30. I got like the last spot in the ancillary spots. So the main lot at the top will fill up first, and then there's like 2 down the south side that you can park at. There might be some other options, you can make it work, but you probably don't want to do that because it's going to add a lot more distance. Shoulder of Loveland behind me. Let's give you some stats. Yeah, 67, 61 feet of climbing. I think that number is going to be pretty average. My watch might be a little high, but it was pretty accurate on the summits, so I think around 6,500 feet is a good guess. I was crapping on mileage all day. That's actually going to end up being, I think, right where it should be, about 10.5 miles. So yeah, overall, I don't know. I think if you were looking to do Grays and Torreys, especially if you want to try them in the winter, this is a good variation. In the summer, it offers you a lot of seclusion. This is a weekend day, and there was an ant march up every single route on Grays and Torreys, as you would expect. But on this route, I only saw like 3 other people, and they weren't going the same way I was. They were kind of linking up to Loveland. So yeah, if you're looking for seclusion, that's great. The other huge positive is that you don't need a 4x4 or an all-wheel drive or any high clearance to get to this trailhead, because it starts on paved Loveland Pass. The negatives, obviously, so much more climbing than you would normally have, and a lot more mileage as well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I do virtual trail guides, hiking tips, and all kinds of different hiking content, obviously based here in Colorado, but have so much other stuff. So poke around the channel for what you're most interested in. You can help support it through gear, which I forgot my hat today, which I'm sure I'll be paying for with the sun tomorrow. And yeah, I have a Patreon as well, so you can have a number of different benefits there. But in general, just help support the channel so that I can continue to produce high quality content and also show you more places. Finally, I know based on my stats, about 70% of you have not subscribed and you watch my videos. So even if you're passing through, just want to beta on this hike, I'd really appreciate a sub so that I can continue to grow. I do not do this as a full-time job, and it's a ton of work to keep producing content, but I love to do it, so appreciate all those who support already. I'm gonna jog this one out, and I hate filming and jogging at the same time, so thanks so much for watching today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next adventure.